Hi there, Mephiando, I'm back with some more Minecraft. So today I'll be doing another tutorial for a mod called Computercraft, which incorporates computers to your game. If you want to download it, I'll put a link in the description. And I also recommend you check out my other tutorials before you check this one out. This is number 5. It wasn't planned originally, but I got a request on YouTube, actually a comment, and I realized there were loads of functions I had not actually shown. So let's first of all show what the end result of this tutorial will be. So the program is called GUI. It doesn't need to be called like that, but basically it's supposed to teach you how to display text and stuff like that on the screen, and you can also actually move a little cursor around. It's pretty cool. And if you press enter or space, it will say you have chosen end or I don't know, start or help. So that's the end result. Now as for functions you will need, let's switch to LUA mode. So it will be first of all term dot clear. So once that's done, it will erase all the screen. But the cursor position will remain more or less the same. So if you want to set the cursor's position, at the beginning you have to do term dot set cursor pause 1 1, and there we go. It's back to normal. Of course I haven't erased the screen, so this is what you get. It's pretty weird. Those are the two main functions you will need. I believe that's all. So we can exit. There we go. I guess we can exit that too. Oh yes, almost forgot. One other thing you will need is to know the the codes for the keys of your keyboard, because each key on your keyboard has a certain code. So to actually figure that out, you have to do os.pull event like this. Whoops, and press enter and press a key, and there pressed up, so it will indicate that the event was key and that the key press was 200, which is up. You can also do that again. Down is 208. Space is wrong key. Sorry. Space is 57 and enter is 28. So this is all you need. Now let's start with the serious stuff now. This computer does not have the GUI program, and let's admit, for example, you have lost the program and you want to start it all again, or even you just want to write it the first time. This is the code itself. So edit GUI, you can actually call it whatever you want, it's not really important. So first thing you want to do is initialize everything that needs to be initialized. So OP, that's basically a list of options. To do that, you have to create a list, and to create a list, basically you have to use those symbols. I don't really know what they're called generally. So let's do like a previous program. Start, no, not strat, start, much better. Help, and I don't know, quit. This should be all. Then cell, SEL, we'll set to 1. Cell is basically to indicate what is selected. So start is 1, help is 2, and quit is 3. Redo is a boolean, which will basically indicate whether the loop, which shall be initialized later on, should go on again or not. So it basically indicates whether you're finished with the program or not. So to start with the loop, you have to do while redo equals to true. Sorry if I'm a bit maniac, I tend to write or to code in very specific ways. But never mind, that's actually quite annoyed because usually when you program you can actually indent the text, and there it's all of the same level, so it's pretty weird how it all ends up. So then first thing you want to do, let's close the end loop first of all. Don't win much to do that, yes. But so let's see. First of all, you want to erase the screen, or each time you go through the loop. So that's called a tick, basically every time you go through the loop. Term.clear. Yep, and there it will basically erase screen. Then what you want to do is to display the text at the middle, like last time. So I've been doing a few measures early on, and so first of all you want to create a loop for I equal 1, 3. So basically it will repeat the loop 3 times, and I will take 3 values being 1, 2 and 3. So do, let's end the loop first, though it's not all that useful. So term.set cursor cause 22 I believe, and 7 plus I. So why am I doing 7 plus I? Basically it will put, or if I don't do plus I, all the text will be displayed on the same line, and that's not what you want. Then what you want to do is to show off whether the text is selected or not. So to do so, you have to do if I is equal to cell, I believe. Then, not v, then, okay, there we go. Then, whoops, can't write either, can't speak, can't write, I'm quite useless. Right, let's see. So the 2 dots here are for concatenations. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but basically concatenations in when you stick 2 pieces of texts together, and that's all there is to it. So I do have a concatenation, and so that's first thing done. Else dot right, do basically exactly the same thing, except they are, or it's not selected. OP and yeah, this I think that's probably all. Oh yeah, I forgot something very important. And there we go. So as far as the program, or so far the program, all it does is display the text. So I'm going to show you that very quickly. GUI, there we go. Whoa. It's quite laggy, probably because of the recording, I don't know. And in fact, ComputerCraft was having trouble with that. Never mind, but basically just displays the text as it should normally. So let's go back to editing our GUI, and so let's go back here. Then next thing you want is to pull an event to detect whether you want, well, whether you're pressing a key or not. So EV is for the event itself, and K is for what key is pressed. So os.pull event, there we go, and now all the text coming after is detecting basically what key you're pressing. So first of all, you want to know whether the event is key or not, because it can be other events. So first of all, if EV equals to key, then let's close this condition, and now there are a whole bunch of tests you have to do. Let's start with I don't know, if k is equal to 200, so I believe that's when you press up key, then cell is equal to cell minus 1. So you may ask me, you may ask, hey, what happens if cell is equal to 0? That I'll actually take care of that soon after. Then if k is equal to 208, no, not 2008, 208, then cell is equal to cell plus 1 end. It's quite redundant, all this code, but it's well, in my opinion, being a geek, absolute geek, I've been doing programming like forever, it's quite fun to actually figure out how to do stuff. So then if cell is smaller than 1, so that basically checks whether it's to 0 or to 4. That's to do kind of, well, you'll see. Can't explain, I'm terrible at explaining. Cell equal 3, whoops, cell equal 3, there we go. And if cell is above 3, then cell is equal to 1. And thank God it's over. Well, it's not over quite yet, in fact. So let's save and exit, and let's see what the program does for now. So now it displays correctly, and you can actually choose your options. However, you cannot press space or enter to choose what you want to do, well, what option you want to select. So to exit the loop, press Ctrl T, and it will terminate the loop, just like that. And let's go back to our editing. So I recommend when you do coding that you actually try to test your code quite regularly, because mistakes tend to be quite frequent, unfortunately. They tend to turn up way too often, and if you do like a whole piece of code in one go and you don't test at all, you may do one mistake and it will mess up literally everything. So try to be sure, usually when you try something, I don't know. So now what we are going to attend is, well, what we're going to code is detecting whether you press key, enter or space. So it's very easy what you have to do. Then term dot clear, which clears the screen obviously, and term dot set cursor pause, and then you set the position to 1, and then you have to do print. Print. You have chosen space, and close this. Do another concatenation. Still don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. OP. Let's see. Am I doing this correctly? Yep. OP, and instead of I, you're going to put cell, SEL, because it will actually select what you have chosen. So there's still one last thing to do, which is redo is equal to false to actually exit the loop, or the main loop. So now I believe this is all that has to be done, and let's give this a try. You can actually navigate through the menu once again, press start. Doesn't seem to work for some reason. Oh well, probably messed up something. Whoops. Well, where did I mess up? Let us see. What did I do? Oh, I see. Ah, yeah. Big mistake. I hope some of you actually noticed that and started yelling at the screen like crazy. Like I said early on, mistakes are common, and I am the first to actually say that. So then you can actually test GUI, and this time it should work. And yes, it does. So this is just all this program does. It works just fine. I think I might post the code on, well, post the code in some sort, well, online. I don't know. I'll put it open source at least, and if you want to read it, check it out. And yeah, that's all for today. If this tutorial is useful or anything, please take the time to rate, comment, subscribe. It would be very useful for me in some way, I guess. And yeah, I guess I'll be seeing you next time. See ya.